It's time for your daily dose of all things Chicago sports. This is the Daily Score. Now, here's your host, Mark Grote.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am Mark Grote. This is the Daily Score. We're getting you ready for the Thursday night game, Bears and Carolina. Here is exactly what we know about the quarterback situation. Tyson Bagent will be the starter. Nathan Peterman, QB2, he will be the backup on this night because Justin Fields is out. He is not going to play in this game. So you are going to be seeing Tyson Bagent going up against Bryce Young. And we all know that storyline with the Bears having made that blockbuster trade when the Bears traded the number 1 overall pick to Carolina. Carolina used it to get Bryce Young. The key part for the Bears in that trade was DJ Moore. And we're going to hear from DJ Moore on Carolina and any of the emotions that he might be feeling. We'll hear from him here in just a second. But let's start with the guy that is starting the game for the Bears. And that, once again, will be Tyson Bagent, who met his match last week while having a strong first half. And maybe you could even say, a couple quarters plus. Things went very badly towards the end of the game in terms of the horrible interceptions that he threw. The Bears were right there in that game, had so many chances to tie or overtake the Saints, and Bagent wasn't able to do it. So something of a wake-up call for Bagent. He was asked about the Saints and, generally speaking, just adapting to the NFL.
The only thing that was different was just the caliber of guys I'm playing against. I think that throughout my, I played a lot of football games in college, and I went through all the spring balls with our defensive coordinator has been there for a very long time, so he was always trying new things. I think faced a lot of drop 8 my senior year, so one way or another, I feel like I've seen everything that a defense can do, just haven't played against this caliber before.
Is that the new part then that you have to adjust to, is just how thin the margin is at this level?
I think that's what everybody has to adjust to, is just, you're not only are you playing against amazingly physical, you're playing against physical specimens, but you're also playing against dudes who don't really make mistakes either. So, you just got to be that much sharper and on top of, what you're trying to accomplish.
Things he got away with in college, he did not get away with, or has not gotten away with at the NFL level. I think it's as simple as that. I mean, some of those throws that he was making, and we said, I think you and I watching the game could see the danger of some of the throws, but he has been able to perform those throws in his, college life, and he did it a lot, obviously. And so he probably is having to readjust, and it's a wake-up call. We're all going to find out if he does have the arm to make all the throws. And that's what I'm doubting right now about Tyson Bagent. Not that he can't be a second or third string quarterback in the league, but can he actually make all the throws? Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it yet. One of the areas, too, that he is adjusting to at the NFL level is when teams drop 8, when they are going heavy on pass defense and you don't have you got 3 men rushing. So it's a little bit of a head game for quarterbacks in that regard. And Tyson Bagent got himself into trouble in some of those cases. He talks about that and what he needs to do better when teams do gang up on the pass.
Growing up as a quarterback and then you start to see drop 8, it's always, extend the play as long as you can. QB run is always good. Check down is always good. So the same thing stayed consistent there. Get the ball to the check down. Deontay's sitting there right on the sideline, ready for the ball. So it's not a gotta-have-it moment, especially early in the game. So just get to the check down, play the next play.
Are those some of those moments when you were talking on Sunday about I might have tried to force something? Is that just kind of the mindset you have to get yourself into?
Yeah, I think
run?
Yeah, I think you see the drop 8. The dropper dropped right into our primary target. So I knew it was drop 8, but then it's just right there. Instead of just trying to react on your instinct, just kind of think through it. Like, hey, drop 8, let's extend the play. We don't need to force anything. A neutral play is just as good as anything in that moment. So just be safer and protect the ball a little bit more.
Yeah, he knows exactly what he has to do. And it's just, again, this might be, a lot of times we'll say it's mental. Obviously there's some things he's got to figure out, with his brain and being a quarterback and all that. But with him, It's just, does he have the physical tools to do it? Can he catch up with the speed of the game? And he's going to get another shot. I mean, what a great opportunity for Tyson Bagent, though, to be getting another start here in an improbable that he made the team, B, surpassed PJ Walker, made him expendable. Like, get out of here. We like this Tyson Bagent guy. And now here he is getting extended looks in his second national TV game where everybody's going to know his story. Like, no matter what happens with Tyson Bagent in this game and whatever else he quarterbacks this year, he's put himself out there, and he's put some good tape on, out there for other NFL GMs to see, and they probably have seen it. So I think that while I don't see Tyson Bagent as a future starter in the NFL or star in any way, shape, or form, there are going to be GMs and talent evaluators who say, yeah, I'd like that guy on my team. So, good for Tyson Bagent in that regard. As I alluded to at the beginning of the Daily Score today, it's an interesting game with the Bears and Carolina. One team, the Bears, 2-7. The other team, Carolina, 1-7. The Bears have Carolina's number 1 pick as part of the blockbuster pre-draft trade, where the Bears gave the number 1 overall pick to Carolina, who subsequently picked Bryce Young, who we will see on Thursday night in the game. And the Bears also, in so doing, have chose to keep Justin Fields for at least one more year. So there is a lot going on in terms of the periphery of this game. And DJ Moore, as of right now, and this very well could stay, and it wouldn't necessarily be shame in that, was the most important part or the most valuable part the Bears have gotten in the deal. The rest is to be seen, and we shall see, but that comes a little bit later on. But DJ Moore played for Carolina. I think he was surprised that he was traded. I think he was just as happy being in Carolina as being anywhere else. So he was asked today out at Haugh, where I was for the majority of the day. He was asked, is there a little bit of extra juice, a little extra emotion going up against your ex-team, the Carolina Panthers, team that traded you?
I mean, the extra juice comes from Thursday night, but not them. It's going to be good to go against them. I've been looking forward to it, but we still got a thing to accomplish and get this win.
You had that huge game. You had a little bit of nerves going into the game.
Mm-hmm.
Any nerves now going into Thursday night?
I do have some nerves, I want to see them, but I don't want to see the people across at the same time. But it is what it is.
So the playing of the game will not be an emotional event for you, right?
No,
because
it won't
it's your
be.
Former team. That's not going to factor in.
No, I won't be emotional. No.
Okay. Now that it's been a few weeks, months, or whatever since you've been traded, how do you feel like things have played out? It's been, obviously a difficult year for the Bears, but just in general, it's kind of a maybe unexpected trade or whatever. But now that you're here and you've been here a while, how do you feel like it's played out? What are your thoughts just in general?
I think it's played out well. I don't have no hard feelings about being here. I'm loving it here. We're going to get this thing turned around, and that's going to be the best of it.
Who gets it turned around first? You guys or Carolina?
Of course, us. You know what I'm saying? Hey, forget them.
Burns is out for them. How does that change the defense?
Oh, it changes a lot. He's one of them guys that could change the game. They still got Derek Brown in the middle. He could wreck a game too, and Shaq is out. So those three, it was a big part of the defense, and they're not playing. So right now it's looking good. Mm-hmm.
What's been like the biggest accomplishment? Do you think? I mean, what has been like the biggest reason you think for why you think things will get turned around? What's the best sign you see that through a difficult year there's?
Everybody's still on the up. Nobody's thinking negative. Everybody's thinking positive, and how we playing games has been coming down to the wire. Besides when we have turnovers, and that margin, you can't really turn it over that much in the game and lose. So we come out high. We just got to stay high and not have turnovers.
Always. You can never have turnovers. They're not allowed. They're not allowed. That goes for you too, DJ Moore, because he had a bad one last week. But DJ Moore talking about his ex-team and Carolina, like I said, 1-7. They're coming off a 27-13 loss to Indianapolis, in which Bryce Young was 24-39, 173 yards and a touchdown, and he had 3 picks. He is prone to the pick. He has 8 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. So look, for the Bears, we keep talking about Tyson Bagent's youth and his vulnerabilities. Well, obviously Bryce Young has some right now. Looking at, doing a little comparison of the two teams collectively, statistically, passing yards, the Bears are 26th. Carolina is 21st. Points allowed, their defenses are almost equally poorly ranked in that category. Carolina 31st, the Bears 28th. One category that the Bears have gotten much better in, way better in, from the beginning of this year, and last year for that matter, probably the year before too. They are 7th in third down conversions. That is an impressive statistic to look at, because that was painful for a while. Carolina 16th in that regard, by the way. So neither team is awful in that regard, and the Bears have become pretty good on third downs. That's the thing about, like, when Tyson Bagent was looking good in that game against the Saints last week, he was crushing it on third down. I think they ended up about 6 for 12 in that game on third down, but he was really good early on. Let's see if Tyson Bagent can put together a complete game against Carolina. Thanks for listening to the Daily Score. I'll be back tomorrow to talk about the results of this Bears-Carolina game. For our executive producer, Ray Diaz, I am Mark Grote.